This is a room for 4 men. Some have left. It's a little more cramped, but it's something. Look at the Haitian flag, because they're here now. Most of them are asylum seekers. They all say that Canada is a country that welcomes just about everyone.
Canada is a country that welcomes about everyone. Well, that statement might have been true a while ago, but right now, if you've been on the internet, you see there's a huge rise in anti-immigrant sentiments. There's a huge rise in xenophobia. So Canada looks like Canada is closed for business. Now, in this video, we're going to be looking at the rise of Haitian immigrants moving to Canada. This is because Trump has ended the TPS program in America. Now, TPS program is temporary protected status that was given to Haitian immigrants who came to America around the time when Joe Biden was president, because, you know, there's a lot of issues in Haiti. So they were given this status that they could move and work. They were able to live and work. And that's where you remember Trump came up with the "they're eating the dogs" thing. Let me remind you of that.
In Springfield, they're eating the dogs. The people that came in, they're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there.
Okay, so Trump ended that status. Now, the Haitians living in America are faced with the option of either going back to Haiti, which is basically a death sentence, or moving elsewhere. So they are choosing Canada. Enough talking, let's continue with the video and see what happens.
Canada's long-standing reputation as a nation welcoming to migrants is now shifting. The country has significantly tightened its migration policy, with Haitians fleeing Donald Trump's crackdown across the border paying the price.
It's very important to understand that what I do is volunteer work, what we call unpaid representation. So there are certain things I can do that a lawyer can't do. Among other things, the discussions we're going to have.
This father arrived alone from the US 3 days ago. He was there under the temporary protected status granted to Haitians after the 2010 earthquake in the country.
Did you receive a letter or a notice saying that your TPS had expired?
Yes, my permit, they gave me this for August 3rd.
Okay, it's expired.
According to the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, there are roughly 350,000 Haitians in the U.S. under temporary protected status. The White House wants them to return to Haiti, even though the island is considered extremely unsafe, even on the U.S. government's own scale of insecurity.
Okay, so as you can see, many Haitians now living in America under the TPS program, they are forced to flee. They have to flee because with Trump, once you're arrested, either you're sent to El Salvador or you're sent to Alligator Alcatraz. So many of them are choosing to voluntarily leave America, and some are seeing Canada as an option. However, the issue is most do not know that Canada has a huge immigration problem. There is a huge rise in anti-immigrant sentiment, especially for Asians, like from India, because in recent years, Canada has been receiving a lot of migrants from India, and there is an issue between the local Canadians and the Indian immigrants who are moving in. So this is definitely going to make it worse. It's definitely going to make it worse because Haitians are stepping into something they have no clue about. The rent is crazy in Canada. Nobody can buy a house. The housing market in Canada, I think, is one of the worst in the world. So already Canadians are frustrated as hell. There are no jobs, no entry-level jobs. You have to fight for entry-level jobs. Even if you get it, like it's a mess. Canada is a mess. Like it's in a very tough situation. So many of these Haitians who are looking north, looking at Canada, they do not know what they're stepping into, because they're stepping into something that is brewing, that it's gonna be, it's not looking good. That's all I can say. It's not looking good. But let's see, as they try to flee Donald Trump here, and they're going north. Let's see what happens in Canada.
The pressure is so enormous. I can't take it. ICE is everywhere. And I used to live in Florida. You know what Florida is like.
Yeah.
It's not good. I'm afraid of that because since I was a child, I've never experienced this kind of pressure or been handcuffed.
Anyway, happy to help. Welcome to Canada.
Well, thank you anyway.
For most Haitians, Canada is no longer an option. According to a safe third country agreement Ottawa signed with Washington, unless they already have a family member in Canada, an asylum seeker will automatically be sent back to the US.
Donald Trump is finally fulfilling his campaign promise to deport more than 11 million people en masse. And when it comes to the Haitian community, some people have been hiding in their homes since April 2024. In many cases, their only option is to come to Canada. But the exceptions have been tightened since March 2023. It's no longer an asylum program. It's a family reunification program. So those who arrive at the border and are not eligible then try to enter illegally through the back door.
I know the first reaction for most people will be like, why don't they just go back to Haiti? Go back to your country. Why are you forcing yourself in a country that, is already full? I've seen all those comments. But I know it's hard for you to picture yourself in another person's shoe. But most of these people, Haiti has been in problems for I don't know how many years. I think before I was even born, Haiti was having issues. Right now in Haiti, there is like a peacekeeping mission being led by Kenyans who already have their own issues in Kenya, but now they're apparently the police force is trying to keep peace in Haiti, which is a complete irony. And then now you're seeing like they cannot go back. They're going back to where? To gangs. They cannot go back. In America, they're being deported. So I don't know what Haitians are going to do in this case. But let's continue with this. We're going to see Haitians and we're going to see also Indians in this same clip. Let's continue. And as we watch, consider liking and subscribing.
Despite a 45% drop in asylum applications year over year in 2025, this border crossing in southern Quebec is seeing twice its usual activity, with Haitian migrants making up the biggest diaspora. But under the agreement with Washington, 2,700 of them have been sent back to the US since January. The crackdown doesn't stop there. In 1 year, Ottawa and its partner provinces have reduced, suspended, or cancelled several major immigration programs and lowered immigration quotas until 2027.
Okay, as you can see now, Canada is cracking down hard. They're cracking down. The ones who are entering illegally from America are being sent back to America. America arrests them and then deports them to, I don't know. America is crazy right now. America is complete cycles on the wheel. Like they're sending people to Uganda. They're sending people all over these countries. So the Haitians, I'm guessing they're going to end up in Uganda or wherever they're being sent to, which right now it's insane. It's totally insane. So as this clip continues, now we're going to look into South Asians, Indians, who are now, I think, majority like of immigrants coming into Canada. And we're going to see how they're, the issues they're facing now with the rise in anti-immigrant sentiment. And, let's just continue with the clip.
Toronto is Canada's largest city. Nearly half of the people here were born abroad.
Life in Toronto is very expensive right now. It's not affordable.
Sultana Jahangir arrived from Bangladesh in 2005.
Get a job is right now is a golden deer. It's not so easy to get it. So you see before that there is some families immigrant women, those who are skilled worker, the doctor, the engineer, waiting almost 2 to 3 years right now to getting job. Not only their professional field, also in the survival job. It's very hard. Retail sector, fast food sector, lost job a lot.
Based in Scarborough, a working-class suburb of Toronto, she runs a support and guidance program for women from South Asia, where most of the immigrants here come from.
Hey, Juma, how are you?
Yeah, good, Appa.
Okay, so I came to pick up you to the work.
Yeah.
How's your children? How's your children? Are they going? Hey, children, how are you?
As in Montreal and Vancouver, the housing occupancy rate in Toronto is close to 100%. People often have to spend half their salary or more on rent.
Yeah, like I mentioned before, the housing crisis in Canada, I think, is one of the worst in the world. I think it's up there with Australia. Australia is also experiencing terrible housing crisis. And the funny thing with Canada is they have all these multi-million-dollar condos that are empty. Nobody is buying them. And at the same time, the renting it's insane. It's insane, the housing crisis in Canada. I think I'll do a separate video on that specifically. But right now, as you can see, these organizations are trying to help the South Asian immigrants from India particularly. And there's problems getting jobs. There are problems with it's too much. Like, it's too much. I know it sounds like I'm just saying, open the floodgates, let everybody in, and no, I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is, yes, immigration has gone out of control in the recent years. I know the main issue that is happening, especially in Canada, is integration. Like, people are immigrating, but they're not integrating into the culture. They're like doing their own. They're not assimilating to the Canadian culture, and that is what is causing the biggest issues that I've seen so far. So as immigrants, it is something that it must be done. It's not like, should we integrate or not? No. You must assimilate, you must integrate. I'm saying that as an immigrant myself. I was an immigrant to America, lived in America decades, but I must assimilate. It is a must. It's not a question of if you want or not. You must, because you are a guest in the country. I know it's hard to hear. You have your own thing, the way you do, but remember, you are moving into these people's country. They are welcoming you. You have to assimilate. No ifs, ands, or buts. You have to. So try your best to be respectful. Try your best to assimilate. Try your best to, let's just continue. Enough talking. I know I'm rambling a lot. Let's continue the video.
This is the kitchen. We are living in a 2-bedroom apartment, 8 people together. This is 1 bedroom that our family will live here.
Juma Rani Paul invested all her savings and borrowed nearly 50,000 Canadian dollars, around 30,000 euros, to pay for her business management course in Toronto.
Very hard time, right?
Very hard time.
We lost the childcare at the same moment. When he injured, that time our childcare fee actually goes up, and we are not able to afford this.
Back in Bangladesh, this 38-year-old mother was an accountant and her husband was a lawyer.
Wow. I don't understand why this happens, because most of these people were doing well. They are doing well in their countries. Accountant and a lawyer, even if an accountant and a lawyer in Timbuktu, they must be earning good money. They paid 50,000 Canadian dollars for a course. 50,000. I've done several videos where they're paying 50,000, 30,000 for, paying for illegal immigration. And 50,000 is a lot of money. It's a lot of money even in America. 50,000 you can start a small business with. So for me, it normally, I don't get it. Like, why spend that much money to go in a place like Canada? No offense to Canada, where, first of all, there's a lot of anti-immigrant sentiment right now. So first, you won't be accepted. It's better you just take the 50,000 you're spending there to just use it in your own country. I'm sure it's gonna go further. You can start a business with it. You can do a lot in your own country with that money. If I had that money, I would not have immigrated, to be honest with you, because life as an immigrant is quite complicated. You have to deal with a lot. So I don't see the point of spending that much money in a foreign country that will never accept you. Let's be real. They will never accept you, and you will have to face a lot. Like right now, they're facing joblessness. You're living in all this room when 50,000 you could use it. Makes no sense to me, but let's continue.
When I applied for postgraduate work permit, I was frustrated because normal processing time was only 3 to 4 months. But it needs, but it needs 11 months for coming. That time our child benefit stopped and our SIN number got expired. So we faced lots of barriers. We don't have a health card that time. And it is not possible to switch the job also.
Thank you, Zuma, for the foods. Have a seat.
After reducing the quota for international students in 2024, in March 2025, Ottawa changed the system of points that must be accumulated in order to obtain permanent residence after graduation. As a result, tens of thousands of students who'd come to live in Canada had to leave.
Their education, their experience has to be recognized in Canadian labor market. They already spent their all life saving to come in Canada. So now if we are creating in a way that we do not need you, go back to your country. But they already lost their all, finance, everything. So going back to their own country is not possible for them.
Yeah, let me know what you think about her statement in the comments. I've already mentioned what I think. Spending 50,000 or more for immigration process, to me that is ridiculous. But let me know what you think in the comments.
Back at her office, Sultana is holding her weekly workshop.
Try to find it out how you can give some time to yourself.
Some are still a little bit shy. I'm helping them to come over this shyness.
Shyness, two things I always said. So shyness, fearness, and also sadness. Not good for your success in Canada. Is there any man in here? No, we are all women. So we are the strongest proportion of the world. Okay, let's work together. Thank you, everyone.
After months of rampant inflation and a prolonged housing and services crisis in the country, immigrants from Sultana's program are also facing a new threat: rising racism and xenophobia in Canada.
There's definitely been a surplus of hate for especially South Asian and specifically like people who might identify as Indian. There's been a surge online, so I actually have a video. And it's just, a specific cultural event. They have permits and everything. They're doing this all legally. And in the comments, it's just, this is so much, like right here. Imagine the smell. Their culture is just hard to be digested by the rest. There's been European cultural fairs here. There's been like, do you remember the Greek one? Yeah. And they do the same thing. They dance.
Yeah, we
they put their,
accept that.
we accept it, right? But here they're doing the exact same thing.
If we can accept other cultures, they should be able to accept us too.
Okay, so I'm gonna sound like the bad guy here, but okay, I'm gonna say the truth. Now, Indians sometimes can be extra. I'm not gonna lie. I've grew up with Indians all my life, so it's not something new to me. So I know how it is with the Indian culture. I grew up with Indians all my life, and yeah, so I know what it is. But what you need to understand is most Canadians did not grow up with Indians. You are new to them. This culture is new to them. So if somebody is used to peace and quiet, they are not used to seeing people lining up like it's a Bollywood movie where they just break out in a dance out of nowhere. Of course, they're gonna start with the, some are gonna make it racial. So I get the point of the Indians who immigrate, what they're trying to say, but they're comparing themselves to Europeans. Like she compared their culture to the Greek culture, and those are not the same. First, you have to remember Canada is majority white country. So, like it or not, they're always going to favor the white immigrants before you. So that comparison already is wrong. You need to compare yourself with, I don't know, other South Asian immigrant festivals or something like that and see how they act. So, yeah, this one, I get both sides. I get the Indians wanting to be accepted. I get Canadians also thinking like, hey, this is our country. What the hell is happening here? Like, I get the fear. So, yeah, let me know what you think about that. They got the permit. They're doing their ceremonies. Is it too much? Should they not do it? Let me know what you think in the comments.
Yeah.
Asian communities are particularly targeted and are the subject of widely shared campaigns on social media.
Too many Indians are in Canada, and I want you to go back.
That is being coupled by a flip in public opinion. In 2019, more than 9 out of 10 Canadians considered immigration to be good for the country, placing Canada at the top of the 145 nations surveyed by Gallup. 5 years later, however, nearly 60% believe immigration is too high, with 4 out of 10 people believing there are too many ethnic minorities, a first in over 25 years.
We will return overall immigration rates to sustainable levels.
Immigration has been a topic of discussion in speeches by both the Liberal government and the Conservative opposition, while employers are urging Ottawa to keep foreign workers who are vital to the Canadian economy.
Bonjour. Oui, ça va et toi?
Bien, très bien.
Oui.
Back in Montreal, France-André is working on the case of a young Mexican woman whom he is helping to come out of hiding.
I know it's not always easy, especially when you don't have an income. If she's caught working without a work permit, it could hurt her case.
Y él también comprende que el hecho de que estás trabajando como en la parte negra, o sea, diciendo ilegalmente.
Because she's also been the victim of abuse, Sophia, a pseudonym, testifies with the assistance of a representative from the Coalition Against Sexual Exploitation.
They pay by the hour.
Do they pay you for the full 12 hours?
Not always, no. If you work 10 hours, they'll pay you for 7 or 8.
Sophia says, like most of her colleagues, she worked illegally as a cleaner in a hotel a few streets from here.
Many work as cleaners. That's right, cleaning houses, shops, supermarkets, especially at night, and especially overtime. I've had to work more than 20 hours straight like that, non-stop.
Wow, that's insane. So the issue with illegal employment, like employing illegals, is also, I guess, very rampant in Canada then, because this immigration thing, it just happened all of a sudden, because you see, like in 2014, majority of Canadians were fine with immigration, but now they are saying there's too many immigrants. I think it was a failure on the government's part. It's the same thing that's happened in America and the same thing that happened in, I believe, Australia and the UK. Like, pick any country now, they're gonna be having issues with immigrants. It's happening like worldwide. They're having issues with immigration. So this is nothing new. Right now, it's a huge correction going on where it's now totally anti-immigrant sentiment throughout, pick any country. And we can only hope that it's maintained that way. It doesn't turn violent, because that is my biggest worry. Whenever countries get to these levels of frustration that you're seeing on the internet, normally, unfortunately, violence happens, and we don't want that. But let's just finish the video. If you like this video, consider liking, subscribing. Let's finish the video.
According to the Ministry of Immigration, 500,000 undocumented immigrants currently live in Canada. France-André says that number will only grow in the coming months.
I would like to see the figures that show these people's contribution to the economy. No one talks about that. These are not people who will have the same privileges, the same labor standards and protections. And then when they're in situations of abuse, they will try to seek help, among other things, from organizations like the one that supports Sofia. We're creating people who will end up on social assistance, what is called last resort assistance. And who is denouncing the fact that this is a burden? The government, in a context where the Canadian economy is suffering.
Okay, so that's the video. You've seen it. Let me know in the comments. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think about the Haitians moving into Canada, about the Indians, you know, how it is in Canada. If you're Canadian, please let me know in the comments and share your opinions also. And if you like this video, consider liking and subscribing. And of course, share this on all the networks. I'll see you.
Oh my goodness, all the networks! Wow! All the networks!